Hey there, Jefferson Elementary. My name is Miss Lynne from the Washington Pavilion in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and my team and I are excited to be with you on your Science Day in December. But before we get there, we're going to be sending you these boxes because we want you to have a super amazing roller coaster challenge. Your teachers will have all the information about how this challenge works, and we're excited to see what you can come up with when we come down for Science Day. We've got a lot of activities planned and it's going to be a lot of fun, but in order to make the most of our time together, I'm going to be sending you this video and it's going to have all the directions to all the activities that we're going to have during our science extravaganza. The video is kind of long, so at any point if you guys need to take a break and stop watching to do something else, feel free to do that. I'm excited to see you in December. One of the areas of science we're going to be looking at during Science Day is physics, and so we have a couple activities that I wanted to show you. The first is dominoes and hand spinners. Now you might get in trouble for having hand spinners at school on a regular day, but on Science Day they're going to be really fun to add with the dominoes. You set the dominoes up in a design with a hand spinner somewhere in the middle, and then when you let the dominoes go, the hand spinner actually helps move the dominoes forward. Another one of the activities is slinkies and blocks of wood. It might seem pretty simple, but it can actually be very complicated to get just the right distance of blocks to let the slinky go all the way down. One of the other activities is called the falling ring trick. You take this larger ring and hang it over your index finger, hold the little ring with your other hand, and then let go. You might think that the ring is going to hit the floor, but it doesn't. I'm going to see if you can figure out how this trick works and let me know when I get there on Science Day. Another one of the areas we're going to be looking at is engineering. So there's two activities you can do related to that. One is to play with the Keva planks. Maybe you'll make a ramp, or maybe you'll make a tall tower. It's really up to you. The possibilities are endless with these blocks. The other activity is to do a wall roller coaster. We've got lots of different pieces and different designs and marbles. So you attach the pieces to the wall with sticky tack, and once you have your roller coaster set up, you test it out. If it doesn't work the first time, you'll just have to adjust the pieces and try again. Another area we're going to look at is kinetic and potential energy. Potential energy is the energy that an object has available to use, and kinetic energy is when it actually uses that energy. So one of the things we're going to use is a dropper popper. It's a rubber bowl-shaped thing, and you actually invert it inside out, so it goes like this, and then if you hold it straight out and drop it, it goes back to its original shape. So that kinetic energy has made it change. When I come to see you for Science Day, we're actually going to use ping pong balls with it as well, but they don't show up very well on the video because they bounce all around the room. So you're going to put the ping pong ball in the center, hold it straight out in front of you and drop it, and watch where the ball goes. Because this can be kind of dangerous, you need to wear safety goggles when we do this activity. The other activity is using these steel 1-pound balls. When you hit them together, they actually create enough heat to burn a hole in a piece of paper. So you'll have to need a partner for this, and your partner will hold the piece of paper up, and you're going to smash them together, watch out for your fingers, and it will actually create a small hole in the paper, just like this. Electricity and magnets are always fun to play with, so I'll be bringing some of my circuit supplies. And let's see if you can build a closed circuit and an open circuit. I'll also be bringing some of my magnets. There's lots of ways to explore magnetism with these things. There's even some magnetic putty and some magnetic fluid, which is in this tube. And when you put the magnetic fluid on top of a magnet, you can actually see it change and respond to the magnet. It's pretty neat. Another thing we're going to be exploring is light waves, and this is the 3D wave machine, and it's a really cool way to see how light and waves work together. Another thing you'll be able to play with is called the persistence of vision fan, and it is a double-sided fan that has different LED lights on it, and those lights blink at different intervals, and they make very interesting patterns. We're not only going to look at light waves, but we're also going to look at sound waves, and we're going to do that with tuning forks. One of the activities is to strike the tuning fork and then place it in water to see the ripples that happen because of the vibration caused by the tuning fork. So you strike it on its side and put it in the water, and it's going to splash a little. But you'll be able to see those vibrations through the water. You can also use the tuning fork and a ping pong ball on a string to see the vibrations happen. So if I hold my ping pong ball very still, strike the tuning fork, it actually makes the ping pong ball move, which is pretty cool. All right, let's talk about some chemistry. Actually, before we do that, I want to show you this really cool bottle called the density bottle. We mix it up and let it set for a minute. It's going to do some pretty neat things. All right, back to chemistry. We've got something called kinetic sand. You might have played with this already. And remember, we talked about kinetic energy is energy that is moving or causing something to move. Kinetic sand is sand that's treated with a special chemical that actually causes it to move or lose its shape. Regular sand will hold together pretty well, but kinetic sand is going to continue to move. It's just kind of fun to play with. You could build something with it, maybe a castle or a wall, and then see how long it takes for it to move apart and fall to the tray. Another thing we're going to have in the chemistry area is putty. Putty is just really fun to play with. And this putty is kind of special because it's color changing. So it reacts to the heat that's generated in your skin. So right now it's orange, but this one that I've been holding in my hand for a while is turning yellow. So the hotter your skin is, the brighter the yellow is going to be. You can also have it change color by pulling it, or twisting it, or tearing it. Any kind of movement, any kind of friction is going to cause heat to be generated, and that's going to make your putty change color. I've got some that's orange, and I've got some that's blue, and we'll see when we get there what color that the blue changes into. Now, did we notice what happened to the bottle? It went back to its original pattern, even after I mixed it up. That's because inside the bottle it's not just water. There's salt water and rubbing alcohol, and those liquids have different densities or heavinesses to them. The beads also have different densities, and so as they start to settle and try to move back around in the bottle, sometimes they're kept from moving all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom because of their density. It's just kind of fun to watch, and so I'm going to be bringing some of those with me as well. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about air pressure. We've got a couple activities related to that. The first one is my friend Squiddy here. Squiddy is a Cartesian diver, and actually, even though it's based in water, it's actually an air pressure demonstration. If you squeeze the bottle, he will fall to the bottom, and if you release your pressure, he goes to the top. And it's all because of the pressure inside the bottle changes when I squeeze it, and the pressure actually pushes the Squiddy down. Pretty fun. Another one that we're going to do also uses water, and you're going to fill this film canister with water all the way to the top. And then you're going to place a card over the top of it, and you're going to Flip it over. Now, you should be able to remove your hand and the card stays. You would think that the water would come rushing out, but the air pressure pushing up on the card is keeping the card in place. This only works if the container is completely full of water. If there's any air inside, your card's going to fall. These last 4 experiments deal with geology and natural disasters, and I've saved the messiest for last. This is a spaghetti fault line simulator, so it's going to simulate what happens inside the Earth when the tectonic plates bump or crash together and cause an earthquake. So in those grooves are dry spaghetti, and you turn the handle of the vise, and that's going to simulate the plates moving, and as those tighten, the spaghetti will break. And that shows you what happens inside the Earth. This one over here is all about impact craters, and often meteors and other things from space crash into the Earth and leave craters. So this is a pan of flour and several different size balls. They have different sizes and weights, and what you do is you pick one of them. So I'm going to take the golf ball, and you're going to hold it out in front of you, and you're going to drop it into the pan, and then you can investigate what kind of crater it makes. If I take the marble and do the same thing, it makes a different kind of crater. This one over here simulates a volcano caldera. So after the volcano has erupted, the area at the top that is left behind is called the caldera. And so this one is a bicycle pump attached to a balloon inside this pan of flour. And as it gets blown up, that simulates the lava coming out of the volcano. And then when you release the air from the balloon, you'll see what's left. So as I pump air into the balloon, the flour, which represents the rocks and soil around the top of the volcano, fall away. And then when I release the air, we have a caldera. This last one is our earthquake table, and I'm going to have a variety of materials available for you to build a tower. And I'd like to see how tall of a tower you can make and test it on the earthquake table to see if it survives. The table has a drill attached to it, and so all you do is turn the handle of the drill and it will shake the table. All right, friends. Well, I hope that gives you an idea of the things we'll be doing on Science Day. There's a few other things that I'm going to show you when I get there, but for now, I hope that's enough information for you to get excited about all the fun we're going to have. We'll see you soon.